Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert,
And I'm Leon Katerina.
and this is the Hot Hustle Talk Show. Today, we're going to talk about how to embrace the joy in chaos and find the magic in the mess. And it's inspired by this book. It's called That Sucked, Now What? And I it's started reading it. The stories are so freaking cool and dynamic. And I was like, you know what? This is bringing up a lot in me. I'm like, getting charged a little bit as I'm reading it. And I'm thinking, well, that's interesting. And it was, some of it was I was trying to fight the content at first.
Hmm.
And then it got me into this, oh, wow, we can actually embrace the suckiness. Our camera just went out again.
Yeah, and so isn't that funny that all of the things right now, I actually think that nothing happens by coincidence. So this morning, we came into the studio and there's an update to our software. There is the camera has been going in and out, and I plug in my headphones as I always have, and it creates the chaos, right? So it's like,
Talk about chaos.
yeah,
We're going to embrace the mess and show you our mess right in front of your face. How does it get any better than that?
that's right. And so it definitely puts you into one of those tailspins, and we can either let the things tailspin us out of, out of being into like, hey, make ourselves wrong for the show, or, make ourselves wrong about the technology, or we can embrace the chaos and ask, what contribution is this? And for me, the contribution today is, being able to stand right here, right now, and have the exact experience that we're bringing forth, because lots of times people want to give up when things like this happen, right?
Yeah, I mean, the amount of times that my brain, it's not that I actually want to quit, but my brain will just be like, oh, fuck it, just quit. It eventually worked through me in 2020, but I came back and now I'm even stronger. So I guess I always have, I'm getting to the place where I always see the gift in the mess and, as she says, the magic in the mess, which I love even more. So I wanted to play with you guys, and I wanted you to, and Leonka has no idea what I really want to do, but she'll come along.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play with you guys, and I wanted to ask you guys some questions so you can pull up some of the yuck and the suck and what the fuck kind of vibes in your world. And let's do some processing and see if we can really unearth what's going on with that and actually change your vibe so that you no longer continue to create those kind of messes. And I especially want to look at some of the patterns and some of the sucky things where you're like, ugh, I totally bombed it. I messed that up so badly. I never get it right. Those are like the failure questions, right? And with those questions, you could do some of the defeated and some of the depressed questions, which, what are the things where you feel, I am trapped, I have no choices. I hate having a fake smile all the time.
Hmm.
Think of things that are consistently showing up for you that way, where you're having, where literally the thought in your head is something like that. And I want you to take a piece of paper. I want you to write it down
Okay.
what that one thing is.
Okay.
And we can do it on a lot of things, but right now we're just going to do it on one thing. And Joe Dispenza says that if you have a symbol and a strong emotion, then you make a neural network connection in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote up a post today on the amygdala, which basically is our fight or flight response in the brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when it gets deflated because you're thinking thoughts like, oh my gosh, that sucked, then what happens is it actually drops your dopamine levels And it actually makes you feel deflated, lack of motivation, and a little depressed. And I just thought when I put one and two
This is so
together,
good.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the key. And then at the same time I was reading this book, I mean, literally the universe like trifecta'd me.
This is so good,
And
y'all.
I had to like really go, oh my gosh, literally by just going, this. And that sucked. Then what's really going on in my brain is it's making these like connections in my head that's actually making me energetically less motivated, not in momentum, and more depressed. And I thought, well, I got to break that circuit.
And
So
that's
we're here
biology,
today.
right?
And that's
Yeah.
biology. That doesn't even talk about
Yeah.
what happens in the perineal
Yeah.
gland
Yeah.
that like reaches out to the
Yeah.
field.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
get there
Yeah. Yeah.
today
Yeah. Okay.
because then we're going to play with the field to make this change.
That's all right.
So during my talk, did you get your one thing? Go ahead and type it in the
You
chat
could
if
try
you've
to
got your
type
one
in the
thing.
chat, or you can write it on your piece of paper, whatever you like. So,
And with that one thing, I want you to think of a symbol or a number that goes with it. It can't be the number 4, though.
where's my necklace? I'm excited.
Okay, so let me just, for the one that just joined us, we're looking at one thing that totally sucked in your life that maybe you even notice you keep repeating it, where it's like, ugh, I like got passionate, I went for it, and I've concluded it did not work, right? What is that one thing where you notice that there is a cycle of repeat, where it's like, ugh, I did a huge launch. I put everything, my heart, soul, and everything into it. And then you feel deflated after. What is that for you?
Or you started a new
Maybe it's a
job.
marriage or
Okay. Or you started a
or
new job.
relationships.
Right.
Like have people who continue to date the same people over and over again, and they're almost like, that's like my dad. So it might be something like that. But what is that one thing in your life that you're ready to change? I want you to write it down, unless you're driving. And then I want with that, get what that is, and get all the sucky
Everything right.
emotions around it, right? Just like totally embody the suck. And she's got a process for embodying the suck. And then I want you to find a number or a symbol that means this. This is the NLP part of my work, right? So, but which was kind of inspired by Joe Dispenza's. He was like, the number 4 is for the heart. And from Access, they say the number 4 is about opening doors. So try not to use number 4. It would take you down a different path. So here's what this author, Nita, I guess is pronounced Busham. She says that there's really 5 steps to embracing that suck. Now, normally, at the frequency work I do, I wouldn't want to embrace the suck. I'd want to embrace the opposite of the suck. But through my work and really through my understanding of how the brain works, I found that when we acknowledge true feelings and we don't spiritually bypass them, then we have gold. So I'll let Leonka go through the 5 steps so that you can kind of, see how, this is about embodiment, whether it's about embodying the suck or embodying anything. I really felt like, these were great steps to go through and really take you guys deeper.
So for me, For me, I'm just gonna say what my thing is that I always kind of have this feeling of when I was starting a new role, I was really afraid of failing and not hitting numbers, and it's very, very driven that way, and so I would feel really stuck around that, even before I stepped in the door for a new role.
Right. And
So,
before you do that, let me just put a caveat to respond to Joe on the feed. You know, I do get that you just calling it, "Ugh, it sucked" on its own. That is a judgment, right? You know, that is something that from a construct of this reality that we've already judged that. So, you know, just kind of put that to the side for now, because I mean, if we were all Buddhas here, we wouldn't even be judging that it sucked. We'd just be like, oh, this is the progress. This is the change. You know, more mistakes you make, the more money you make. That was one of the things that I've kind of coached myself on. Just go ahead and slap it against the wall.
today we're making lots of money, right? Right
So
now?
I did want to address that real quick.
Okay, so
Right.
want to try to embody your own, want to try your own embodiment practice? Here's what to do during the moments of suck. First, anchor the suck. Simply say it out loud. That sucked. Now what? Embrace the sensations you're experiencing. Where do you feel it in your body? Back, head, stomach?
So go ahead and take a minute now to
Really
to
think
notice
about-
that.
Yeah, to see where that's at. Where is that at, right? For me, it was always in my stomach, sometimes in my head.
Mine's kind of usually here. It's kind of
It always made me feel like ill. Okay. 2, feel the suck. Say it out loud and acknowledge the suckiness of the moment. Say, I am feeling, and name the emotion out loud. Use sounds, words, or even scream and shout it out if you need to. Oh, it used to make me so frustrated.
So y'all are on mute right now. Go for it. I had a lot of fun doing this yesterday on my own in my room.
Seriously, you know,
Dance to it. I mean, the whole shebang.
use words, sounds, scream, and say, this sucks, right? Like,
Right. Let it out. Like
Yeah.
it's total expression
Or put this on
instead
replay.
of repression, right? Yeah.
Or listen on replay and do this whole exercise, but definitely anchor it in is what they're really trying to get to here, embodiment. And 3, tap into the suck. Play music. The more ridiculous, the better. Shake, shimmy, stomp, act like a dinosaur. Like, this sucks, right? Like, whatever that name
Play the dinosaur.
Really sucks.
One of those. She's got the dinosaur song even.
The whatever that looks like, right? It's like I'm getting my numbers, whatever.
Cry.
Yeah,
Scream.
make
laugh.
yourself almost laugh. I feel like here.
Yeah.
It says move the suck. Now really start to move around. This is where you can dance, jump, and move the energy through your body. You know, this is like this sucks, right? This sucks. I used to listen to this thing that was like nobody's home. It was the answering machine song.
That's funny.
That really sucked. So the other thing,
The last one.
and the last one is transform the suck. Giggle, belly laugh, repeat that suck. Now what? 3 times while laughing. So it's like, I mean, make yourself laugh if you have to, because sometimes you just laugh at yourself while making yourself laugh. It sounds so dorky. Laughter helps activate the calming vagus nerve in your body. Woohoo!
Woohoo. Everybody needs to activate their vagus nerve now.
And she says, do it 3 times while laughing, right? Like, you know, that sucked. That sucked. That sucked.
It's like
that
having a
sucked.
temper tantrum.
So yeah, I mean, it
But
does.
but so and these are embodiment techniques that
Yeah.
you guys I mean, we do it on the other side too, right? So that was one of the things that I really got. We don't express it. We spiritually bypass some of our expression. And I just felt like, gosh, why are we so much like almost like I don't want to look at it. It's like, have you ever had a bad month in your finances or a bad year or a bad 10 years? And you're like, I can't even look at it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because like, you know, as soon as you do, it's just going to make everything contract and worse. And I really feel like this would be a great place to do it on everyone's money. Like really like go,
That sucked.
Well, and it may not even be sucked, it's like this is not what I'm asking for in the world,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And what I felt like this created for me is it really made me have a demand in my life where I went the other way, right? I was like, screw that. I'm strong, I'm capable, I can do this. I can create change better than most people. Have to even like put that little caveat in there. But I'm like, come on, Jenna, you can do this. What I did this on was I like to not do social media. I like to not think that I have to do it. I like to kind of make it go away, like
Yeah,
it doesn't exist in
yeah.
my world. But with the business that we run, it's really important for us.
Yeah.
So I embraced it, like full on, said yes to it.
Okay.
And I didn't until I did this process.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I even did a reel about this exact book yesterday.
Good, good. So we know
So
it's
kudos
working.
to me. Yeah.
I gotta embrace this then. I gotta do the whole process on my social media.
Yeah. So, what, from the work that we do and from the frequency that we be, we know like we have these fluctuations of depleted, anger, frustration, suck, all these like lower, if we would look at the scale of emotions, like all those lower frequencies, like that is everybody. We have that unless we've like totally Joe Dispenza's ourself. I think there's some Jesuses on the planet that doesn't have that. But we do have these emotions. So why wouldn't we truly go in and let them express? And I mean, even if it's a suck from like a mother you lost, right? A
Mm-hmm.
dog died, that's still suckiness. And it's really hard for you just to go on and be happy about your life when you really notice that there is like this internal ugh. So I feel that this is one of the best processes that I've found to first embrace it. Now, I asked you to have a piece of paper with a symbol, and with that symbol, I now want you to go through some of the emotions of what you would have if that had never happened. Let's want you to do that first.
Okay.
Like just kind of go on, oh, wait, the past does not exist. And let's even like create a new narrative around it. So bye-bye went, oops, that didn't even happen. How would that make you feel? Never even happened.
The suck never happened.
Yep.
Yeah, it would feel free, right? It'd
Yeah.
feel liberating because then I could just do what I know how I do best.
You could be present.
Yes.
What else?
Yes. Yes. I think there were times where I knew I was self-sabotaging full on without even have given myself a chance. Which I don't even say I think, I know. And I was much more capable of that, of more, way more, and more creative. And there were times where I wasn't really feeling very confident about just my approach when these are things that I've done for very successfully for several years. What else? I would have, I'd be in my head. And so I think so the confidence word, so there'd be confidence, there'd be creativity,
There'd be
space. I think what else? Money. What else? Just I would feel expansive,
Okay.
self-assured, worthy.
Can you be all those frequencies now?
Yeah.
Okay. What about all you? Can you be all these frequencies? Can you be light, free, safe, secure, and confident?
Relief. Yeah,
Yeah,
relief.
relief. What else? Put it in the chat if you can.
We have some people say they're doing this on their money situation. Some people say that they would feel light, free, safe, secure, confident, relief. Relief is a big one for me.
Yeah, and I think that I'm gonna have what I want in the future is another one. It's that kind of frequency of having and the
Yeah.
gratitude that it's coming
Yeah,
was
yeah,
one of the
yeah.
ones I
Right.
got.
If I didn't have all that, this is gonna suck or this sucks or
Or it's not working.
yes. Yeah, I'd be like strutting my stuff, right? Like I'm like, I know I got it going on because I'm gonna get some whatever commissions or
Yeah,
accolades. And usually for me, it was like, the good job, I did a good job, that kind of thing.
yeah,
And so yeah, I'd be like,
yeah.
yeah, feeling good.
So now let me ask you this. Do you need external
No.
indicators to have those feelings? And that could be true for you, and it could not be true.
No. No, I don't need those things.
You don't, but what about the rest of you?
Yeah,
Do you need those?
I did,
Do you
did,
need like do you need to
I
have
did.
yeah. So but I want you don't have to type it in the chat if you don't
And
want to.
maybe there's
But be
places where I
honest
still
with
have that.
yourself about it.
Actually, I had a dream about that, like a nightmare, in fact. One of them was that my card wouldn't swipe, and I was with my significant other's sister at the time, so super embarrassed because I had just offered to
Mm.
pick up her tab, and so then the grandma was gonna like disown me, and I don't even know these people really. And then my other dream was last night where someone was like, "Well, you don't have a job," and it was my significant other in my dream as well. And
Wow.
yeah, so do I really need those things? It might be undercover things to show me where I still have those points of view.
Yeah. I feel that worth in a lot of ways is at the core of all of this. The more I think about this and the more I've read the stories in this book, and I haven't finished it, I really feel at the core it still goes down to worth. The reason that I don't want to totally be myself and be loud on social media is because I feel that I'm going to be judged, especially by
Mm.
my adult children. So it's like I try to hide and I'm like, well, maybe they've got a point or maybe they've got a point of view. And just saying that alone makes me realize that there's still more work for me to do there. And so I want you to look at it like what's deeper than this now, right? So, I asked you if that didn't happen, how would you feel?
Mm.
You can still go ahead and embrace all those feelings, but now I'm asking you, well, what was the reason that that happened in the first place? Was there some holding back? Was there some trying to pretend and putting on this perfect facade?
Mm.
Was it trying to please or be right? Was it, something that you're like, no, I didn't even have control, right? I think they could fall into that category too. I want you to look at and go, okay, what's underneath this now? Like, what can I unearth from
Worthiness is
yeah.
mine, and
Mine was kind of worthiness too,
yeah,
and it's not even directly related. I mean, I guess it's catty corner to money, yeah,
yeah,
to the growth.
and
Um,
yeah,
but it's not directly related to money for me. It was more, I'm just not being a full expression of me. And after all this work, and you see me like showing up totally vulnerable here, you know that I'm a full expression. No, not not entirely. There's this area of doubt, right?
sure,
And
sure.
I think so I just think this is a good exercise no matter where you are in life. Um, so what is it underneath for you? And what is required to fulfill that? What is and it may just be, oh my gosh, I've got to acknowledge this
Mm-hmm.
because I've spent all my life hiding, running, escaping, using drugs, probably not drugs for you guys, alcohol, um, pot, CBD,
What are those things?
food.
Yeah,
Food is
food.
another one,
Yeah,
right? Where you're
sleep.
just trying to find fulfillment in a different way. And I'm inviting you to say and really acknowledge all this and say, yes, I am. I have been doing these things, and I am looking for something in my external
Yeah.
world to soothe me, to fulfill me.
Yeah.
And I'm inviting you to take in that internal landscape and really and really acknowledge what that is for you, right? It could be, you know,
Anita says,
a
run,
run,
hide,
hide.
play it small, stay
Yeah,
quiet. Yeah. Girl, that was me for sure, for sure, for sure.
yeah.
And
But
is sometimes
they're
still,
taught as a
totally
little
still.
child,
Yeah.
be seen, not heard. Go away, bye-bye. Like you're being taught these all
Mm-hmm.
these years.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't we keep doing it? It hurts my heart even to say that, I watch my daughter do this.
Yeah.
Hers is mostly food related, but I really am like, what's the value of like over
Yeah.
consuming in this way? And I know that it's just her way to hide or because she's bored or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm just inviting you to bring this all up now. If we're gonna bring up the suck,
Mm.
we're just gonna bring it all up, put it all out here. Um, I know this isn't the easiest to do. Just one morning on a Tuesday morning, let's go, right?
But I mean, if not now, when, right? 'Cause just as my dreams had shown me, another part of it was that I had, and I don't mean to derail, but what I was trying to say was is like, those are things that I still am working through. And the other thing was is that I kept having this other part of the dream that was saying, okay, I was in school, but every time I would go and do well in language, then I would forget and almost have amnesia in science. And so I wouldn't know the pieces that I was missing in science. And so what I was realizing is that that's very much a metaphor for the way in which we exist sometimes today. We don't know where those pieces are, where we either A, forgot when we came to Earth, or B, we don't know where those pieces are that we're missing when it's so hidden within us, right? We can say, just like Jeneth has been doing all this work, but then there's still another piece that was uncovered when she was sitting here actually doing this exercise. That's why it's so important.
To practice these things.
Yes.
Like, I mean, the value of this show is to come here and practice this.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, and in the lounge, we're actually like
Doing
forcing you to
that.
talk, forcing you to
Right.
talk and have conversation with us and create change. So, I feel like, these are personal development sessions, and we'll have some wellness in the future.
Of course.
You
And of
know,
course, we always have our
a
speakers
mix.
too.
Yeah.
But this is important stuff for all of us. And so on a Tuesday morning, if not now, then at least commit to listen to this on the replay and just do the exercise. And even if it makes you feel silly, that's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's like going on an Easter egg hunt
I know, I love
within
that one.
ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even myself was like, my brain was like, my subconscious was like, hello, hello, we're bringing this up. And let me tell you, I had every feeling of it. I felt sad and mad. And I mean, I woke up more happy about my actual real life, but also realizing that that still gives me so much charge. And I was there and I was grateful that I don't have to experience it all in real life now, that I can listen to my dreams, to have these experiences and then to uncover more places and ways in which I can do exercises like this to let it go, or to actually to transmute that energy.
That's the best way to say it. Or yeah, as a catalyst.
Yeah.
So so I asked you earlier, to get a symbol that represented this thing for you. And I now want you to go ahead and take all those elevated emotions that we talked to on how would this feel if this didn't exist. And I also want you to add some of what the alternative feelings, like what if you actually did get what you wanted from it? What if that suck, yeah, okay, it could never exist, but what if you also had it all too? So what if $100,000 popped in your bank account? How would that make you feel if it is a money thing, right? What if I had a reel that went viral and I got another 2,000 followers today, right? What if something like that would happen? How would that make me feel? Like, what would be the other frequencies?
Anita says, this one today makes me really uncomfortable inside. Like you want me to look at it. And
I
she's
know,
like,
you got to look
cheers.
at
All the celebration signs. She says the celebration signs because what would it really feel like if you had that $100,000, that,
or yeah, or your sucky thing, it actually worked. How would that make you feel?
yeah, if we sat here and we didn't have any technology problems.
Yeah,
Yeah, more professional
it'd probably make us feel a lot more professional.
and put together. Right? Those are just those things that, golly, what other feelings? What other feelings? Like I
Like
got a lot of
elated.
celebration, got a lot of smile
Oh,
here.
talking about feelings, I read an article the other day about awe, and they were doing this study where these older people were going on walks and they would just have to be in awe of things like the flowers and the earth and the sun, and if they saw a dog or something like that, and they'd actually make that noise, awe.
Oh.
That's sweet. And I don't know all the details of the study. I'm gonna have to pull it up. Maybe I should, next week should be focused on awe. We'll focus on suck this week and all next week. One of the, they found that those people just in general became happier people once they started practicing. They called it like awe walking or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
literally they went out and, all their focus went to the beauty instead of the focus going to any of the negative.
Yes. So Anita wrote, suck and awe instead of shock and awe.
That's funny.
That's cute. I like that. Yes, let's move from suck to awe.
Right. What if we just had awe for life, that kind of, so I was thinking, can't do it this Friday, but next Friday, that I'll do a hypnotherapy session on really about transforming or transmuting the suck to the awe. Yeah. Because I do feel like that is the shift, is just to really, like, great, you have power over your mind. Let's change the thought. So I'll go ahead and put that kind of in the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next Friday, the hypnosis, it will be
Possibly next Friday, but there will
Possibly,
be
yes.
one. Even if I do it on my own, I'll give it to you guys, for you to have.
Yeah.
But I feel like, to really, for me, I think that you can do simple things like remind yourself of these frequencies of excitement, thrill, joy, having relief. I think that's a feeling on its own.
Yeah.
We don't really name that as a feeling.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. That's a big one.
all of these, what if right now you would just write down, these are the frequencies that I want to be and have around this, right?
That's such a powerful thing to do.
And work it. And when you're not, and you feel like your body is just taking you along for a ride, it's used to being frustrated. So you go, even I hear myself going, I'm so frustrated. And it's like, wait, I've got power over that.
But it's taking you, truth, right? It's taking you a while to get to there, right?
Well, even to that, right?
Right.
Because you think, you kind of feel like you're just along for the ride, don't you?
Yes, before I started learning this work, yes,
Right.
I did. I would be like, I wouldn't even know I was on along for a ride. I just was riding, like
Yeah.
going down the, rabbit hole of suck.
Like, let me
Today's
fix
no
this so I'm
sucking.
out of frustration.
And then you compound that, and then we wonder why we're really in the,
Yeah, really.
the suck and muck, and
Right.
I don't
I
give
was
a
telling,
fuck.
my husband the other day, I mean, like, so I'm like, sometimes you and my daughter, you push a button, and it used to be like real resilient. Like they'd push the button and I just like act like I almost didn't care.
Yeah.
And I was just acting like I didn't
Oh,
care.
that makes sense.
And then now all these buttons have gotten stuck. And now that I'm like really demanding that I feel empowered in every area of my life, all the buttons are kind of exploding a little. And I'm like addressing things and it's kind of causing some riff and some chaos. And, but I feel that if I don't have this riff and I don't have some of this chaos, I'm never actually going to get to have the life that I dream of. Because I want to be treated a certain way and I want to be talked to a certain way. And and I want to feel honored in a certain way. So, so I'm choosing my battles here. But I used to, literally talking about the amygdala, which is the part of your brain that decides fight or flight. I was mostly, if somebody would be confrontational with me, I would just be the flight girl. I just go away, and then I come back and I after I would calm down and then it'd just be like, oh, nothing's wrong. And now I'm
So that way.
deciding, I
I
should have
was.
never ever done that. Maybe I can actually from this help somebody else go, wait a second, I'm not okay with
Yeah.
this. I'm not okay.
Yeah.
My husband the other day, this is how little some of the things are. So we were going on a long walk downtown, and I have this big water bottle, and I wanted to fill it up like totally with ice. It's getting kind of hot here in Texas. So I took out the
I'm like,
whole,
kind of, my hair just fell and everything. Like,
I
spent
took
time
out
on
the whole
it.
ice container and I grabbed all the ice from the top and I put it in there. And then I went to put the container back in. And I don't do this very often, and he does. And it didn't click in. And I was like, dude, what is up with this thing? And he's like sitting there, like playing on his iPad. And I'm like, how does this work? Can you help me? He's like, you shouldn't have even taken it out in the first place. I was like, okay, this is triggering me. And he fixed it and he did show me how to do it so I can do it myself next time. But it was like, really?
Like, you see me struggling here. It's gonna get worse.
It's like ice.
I know the
So
feeling.
that was
Yeah.
one of the battles I picked over the weekend, saying, look, I just don't usually do this, and this is just uh I just need to be taught, and then I can do it next time on my own.
That's cool.
I
That
mean, I
makes
would just
sense.
kind of dropped all my
Yeah, 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 yeah.
barriers
That makes
and
sense.
it was just like, it's not like I fought back. It was like, this is a simple thing. Just teach me how to do it.
Good move.
It's funny, I'll get these necklaces and they get like all twisted and tangled up, and I'll be like trying to, I'll put them out flat and then I'll take like a toothpick and try to pull them and unwind them. And my husband will be like, just let me do it. But I think he likes puzzles to
I do
solve.
too. My whole family's like that. We're always like, let me see it, let me see it, let me see it. But the thing is too, though, about these, the way in which we can, transmute this energy. And I know that we're joking about some really, really sometimes heavy stuff for all of us.
Yeah.
Is peace. You didn't have to be piece by piece, but sometimes it's just, oh gosh, it's kind of giving yourself, I always say the word grace, but really taking it where you are, right? Like saying, okay, this is exactly where I'm at. These are the things I wrote down,
Yeah.
saying how I want to feel, and then not making ourselves wrong for not feeling that way just yet. I mean, it's taken you a while for, I would imagine, right, to decide that you were gonna like, I'm going through the chaos.
Yeah.
I am gonna sit here and face the conflict in order to get to where you are today, right? And in the chaos, there's the repurposing principle that everything to, and this is science, everything has to come back together in a chaotic form in order to expand and become more beautiful. And I'll send the video to everybody, but I mean, it was
That's
just
cool.
super powerful to see, you know, every molecule, everything coming back down and just looking like a big piece of mess, right? Like just crap. And then all of a sudden you get this new geometry, sacred geometry that just shows it's formulated. It's even more beautiful and more even more structured than before. And again, it just comes down to the repurposing principle of chaos. We have to sometimes go to this muck shit in order to get that more beautiful, amazing place that we want to be and who we want to be, right? We are restructuring the way our lives are and how we communicate with the field.
So back to your piece of paper, you've written down that thing that you want to change, that sucky thing. You have a symbol, whether it's a number or a sign that
Okay.
goes with it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what I
Got it.
I know when she kind of goes direct, it's kind of fun because her eyes start to roll back.
I know.
Now I'm inviting you to go direct, just wherever direct is for you, to enter this field and say, help. I want this. This is what I have been doing, and this is what I would like to be. And I want you to go in and place like little symbols in the timeline. And I want you to request that this symbol reveals itself to you in the timeline and surprises you and reminds you to be this frequency. Does that make sense? There's no time, right, in the field, but I'm inviting you to ask the field for these symbols to show up when you need to be guided, asking for signs.
And guided toward all of the way I want to feel, as in the things I wrote down.
Let me say it a different way. You could even be so specific that you could say, tomorrow, give me a symbol, give me my symbol, show me my symbol to create this frequency change. Show me every day this week. You know, show me something beautiful and let me know that that's my sign to be this other frequency. There's a lot of ways to do this, to change frequency. But, you know, without going into a deep hypnotherapy session or something like that, I think that these practical tips are a great way. Tonight, you can close your eyes and imagine that symbol and imagine it with these elevated frequencies.
I get you.
Right?
Yes.
These frequencies of relief, like be these frequencies. It's magic.
Open your heart.
Yeah.
Be the feeling of relief.
Yeah.
Be the feeling of confidence, of everything just working out, of that money in your bank. Be the feeling of it's yes, right? Be that feeling and then attach that to your symbol. For me, it's like, you know, my goodness. And I'm planting those symbols in my timeline and I'm asking the universe, show me my symbol when I need that guidance. It's usually at your times where you're feeling things that suck. Show me where that openness, my heart is still open. Anchor that in.
Yeah.
And take a breath.
I'd love to hear some of your other thoughts on how you might
Listen,
transform it.
I'm not understanding, but I'm starting to cry. I'm hoping that you understood the little second part now,
Yeah,
but I,
now that,
yes, you're starting to cry because there is, I hope that you realize you're starting to cry because this is really real and this is really, really how we are being asked to migrate and move through and how we can start to now switch those things on for us.
it
Not
often,
in the way that we were taught before.
yeah, it often makes me sad how many years that I've bought that this 3D reality is all
Yeah.
we got, right?
There was a lot of also there was a lot of stuff in place that keeps it that way, right? Lots of stuff that
Mm,
tries to keep the 3D reality in place, but we don't have to anymore. You got peeps like us. You got
yeah,
friends.
right?
You got, I mean, lots of different even free resources and places, and you have the universe to show you your symbol now. That's powerful.
Yeah. I was talking with a friend yesterday, and she's also pretty advanced in this work, and we were talking about really just why were we taught this? And I said, well, we were raised by people from like the Great Depression, and you know the collective had evidence that things weren't working, and all these different frequencies, and all they could see was work harder to get to get money and to get food
It
and
was survival,
resources,
right? It
right?
was
They
survival.
were in survival
Mm-hmm.
survival frequency, like as a collective.
Mm-hmm.
So how could a parent that was raised that way and entrained to this come and tell their children, no, that's not how it works? Because their evidence basically is like that's how it works. However, there were a few Rockefellers and other people that had a different take and a different frequency. It just wasn't enough. We've now hit a time in our life that we we can, I'm
We
trying to
are.
come up with the right
We
words,
are
are
shifting.
now
Yes.
shifting to know that our internal landscape creates our reality. I heard this really cool story of what Joe Dispenza was talking about meditating on the field. He's like, I've got like, all these Delta miles and things like that. And, you know, I was in the not Nassau, Bahamas, and it's pretty close to Houston, but they wanted to fly me all the way to Atlanta and then back to Houston. And I'm like, well, if I have infinite possibilities in the field, then what if I just go into meditation here and create that for myself? Then he was in the Bahamas, and one of his friends, he met up with some friends and some other people, and he's like, the guy has done Joe Dispenza work, and he's like, I'm really loving my life now. I just bought a plane. And there was more to that story. Like there was a guy that he wanted to meet, and that guy was also going to be on the plane ride with Joe. And I thought,
Yeah.
dang, that's the life that I want to create. Like,
Yeah.
where I can just go in the field and say,
Make a request.
I want a first class ticket.
Yeah.
They will upgrade me,
Or whatever that looked like, right? Because he
Right.
wasn't even limiting the universe. He was
No.
basically saying, I'm going to make this, I'm going to have this happen so I don't have to take this flight,
Yeah, what
halfway across the world, or not world, but area for no reason, right? Like he's like, I don't want to go back to Houston to go
well,
back
and
out.
he spent a lot of time in a plane, doesn't want to spend too much time
No,
either. And
no. So you
so
got a buddy, yeah, so he manifested a buddy with a plane.
I know.
That was going to the exact place that he was going.
And a great conversation
Oh,
along the way,
and
I'm
he got
sure.
to swim with dolphins, right?
Oh yeah, right.
Anyway, but those are the things people are creating these for their lives, And by Joe Dispenza having those experiences allows for the rest of the humanity to see those experiences and to hear a story like that and say, okay, I can do this too. It's kind of like the 4 minute mile run, 4 minute run,
Yeah.
where no one was able to break
Break it.
that record until we saw the first human do it. And then that next year, there were at least 4 more that broke that record. Why? Because we had seen proof of it. We had seen it in action, and it also brought it down to the place where we can also experience that as a collective and migrate this. This is the time where we are now making this shift because we're sharing information like this. We're having these experiences, and they are very much for all of me and you to have.
Yeah. So I hope you take your piece of paper and your symbol and all those elevated emotions, and I hope you post it or
I
somewhere
love
where you
that.
remember. And I want you to ask, and maybe just a short little 5-minute meditation, close your eyes and you breathe and you relax and you just kind of go in some of those like quieter brainwave states and ask for the universe to show you the symbol and the sign to be that frequency. I'm going to do a triangle for mine. I'm going to tell you how many triangles I saw between today and Thursday.
Oh my gosh, how fun. Joe says, I just decided that when my symbol appears, I want it to make me laugh. You make yourself
Oh,
laugh. You just
fun.
start laughing out loud and it'll make you laugh. And then you'll be like, right there, your frequency has changed. That's actually, laughter is one of the most powerful, potent frequencies that we can have. And humans have that ability.
And why not with this, if there's a frequency of healing or change within your body or something, why not put that in there too? What the
Yes.
relief would be if you didn't have that thing, that pain in the neck, that, you know, whatever it might be. So, what can you add to that?
So basically, Dawn says, thank you. I have to go. She has to go. This has been great.
Thank you for joining us.
Yay, piggyback miracles. Yes.
Yeah, let's
You know,
piggyback on miracles and let's keep practicing this work. And I'm not inviting you, it's great to listen to these, but what if you'd really practice it too? What
ooh,
else is possible?
creating
So,
the magic here. Let's
yeah.
do that.
All right, we will see you on Thursday. You have a great day and thanks for your
Contribution.
contribution to this.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, everyone.